Hi, this is Mike O'Brien. I'm Senior Content Manager of Multichannel Merchant, and we're here post Prime Day 2018, another big event that's come and gone. A lot of hoopla around it, a lot of kind of positioning by other players. Amazon once again touting that it was the biggest event they've ever had. By one measure, which is FeedVisor, which tracks customer data on Amazon, they saw a 24% increase in sales and an 18% increase in orders. So, by any way you slice it, it's a big deal. And part of that, of course, is Prime membership. You have to be a member to take advantage of a lot of the deals on there. But an interesting phenomenon is that the membership has been flattening somewhat of late, and maybe not as much as a focus of Prime Day as it's been in the past. Obviously, still a big deal. They're saying they signed up more Prime members than ever before. So to kind of unpack this a little bit, we're talking today with Josh Lowitz, who's the partner and co-founder with Consumer Intelligence Research Partners. Hey, Josh, how you doing?
Thanks. How are you?
Good, good. So talk a little bit first about Prime membership. I know you guys recently released some numbers around that, and then talk a little bit about that in the context of Prime Day and how much Amazon is focusing on that, although there's lots of other aspects to that.
Happily. We've been tracking Prime Day for, I'm getting an echo, so I'm going to turn it down if I can. We've been tracking Prime membership since about 2013, so we've been riding the wave. And we, in the US at least, we see a flattening, which is appropriate, as by our measure, as of June 30th, 2018, there were 95 million Prime members. So that's not Prime households, which is the number that Amazon releases, but rather individuals who are users of a Prime membership. That's up 12% over the number we had, our estimate, for June 30th, 2017, before the last Prime Day. But for perspective, when the first Prime Day in July of 2015, there were 44 million Prime members, up from 28 million a year before. So it was growing, growing, growing. And clearly there was a lot of room left in the United States to add more Prime members. And it worked. By June of 2016, they were up to 63 million members. So that was a 43% increase, 19 million more members. It was even bigger from 16 to 17 when it grew by 22 million members. And then over last year to this year, it's only grown by 10 million members, but way over close to 75% of Amazon shoppers, regular shoppers, are Prime members. So we start reaching a natural limit on that. And as we've tracked Prime Day promotions, it seems to the merchandising strategy seems to have responded to that reality. So whereas the first Prime Day was absolutely about gaining Prime members, and the second Prime Day in 2016 again was pushing membership, but started to do more to get people deeper into the ecosystem. So there was a lot of talk about music services and streaming video at that time. There was a big push to get Amazon Fire TV devices into people's homes to get them to have more ways to use their Prime membership. That was the first year that there was anything about Echo. Echo was still a very small, was a tangent at the time. But there were even then buy via your Echo and get extra special prices. Although I think the number that time, I think there were fewer than 50,000 transactions. So what we've seen is an evolving strategy. Each year, various areas of focus to make better Amazon shoppers. But while it used to be Prime membership was the goal, now we see that the goals are further integration, further value adds that Prime membership brings that are probably better ways to motivate people to retain their membership, which now is even more important as some percentage of members are monthly subscribers instead of annual subscribers. So that decision gets made repeatedly as opposed to once a year. And as the price of the price of Amazon Prime membership has gone up, it's a bigger it's a marginally larger investment for the consumer, so it's a bigger decision for them to make. But we've seen the push with Amazon Video, Amazon Music, and the Amazon devices seems to be the goal of Prime Day then becomes getting Amazon deeper into the Prime members' house. And I think we saw that this was another year where they did that, where the homepage and the key, the big offers were all about Amazon devices, that integrate Amazon further into your life. And then even the sort of secondary layer with Blink and Ring and these acquired brands. And then secondarily, the private label brands. So Amazon getting people to try their apparel brands, try their food brands, and in a big move, getting them to try Whole Foods in many cases, with the promotion, $10 Prime Day credit with a $10 purchase at Whole Foods. So there was a huge incentive to sort of find your local Whole Foods and just give it a shot.
Interesting stuff. So one thing that was a knock on Prime Day early on, especially in the first year, and maybe less so in 2016, it was in effect a yard sale of inventory that they wanted to kind of offload. But that's changed quite a bit. And now you have a lot of major brands participating, retailers participating. So you have kind of two approaches: the companies that are jumping into it like that and lending kind of their brands to that and looking to gain through Prime Day. And then you have others that are kind of holding their own events separate from Prime Day and even kind of touting the fact that it's happening outside of Prime Day. So what are your thoughts about kind of the perception of Prime Day and the kinds of deals, the kinds of merchandise and products that are offered versus maybe what it was in the past?
I think you're absolutely right. You're reminding me that in 2015 there was some level of disappointment, and I think that it was Amazon is famous for testing things, and I think that it may have been a slightly underdeveloped concept at the time. As a good Seattle retailer, they certainly learned from Nordstrom, which is decades into their anniversary sale and does an amazing job of getting ahead of the fall shopping season. And Amazon, I think they understood that somewhat, but they didn't exactly know how to act on it. By 2016, 17, and certainly by yesterday, there was a much better sense of what makes a good sale, what motivates purchase, and what makes the customer feel like they're really getting something. Also, over the course of the years, Amazon has more and better devices to sell, and they've been more and more aggressive on the pricing of those devices, since they understand that getting that equipment, a Fire TV box, a Fire tablet, an Echo, into a consumer's home just makes them a better Amazon customer. The participation of other more vendors, I think, speaks to the power of the day. If you're gonna be selling $1 billion+ worth of stuff in the United States, then vendors want to participate, just like vendors learn to participate with Black Friday at Best Buy or Target or Walmart, or the aforementioned Nordstrom anniversary sale. You want to be part of it when the transactions are happening. As a vendor, you want, as a supplier, you want to be part of it. Many worked through Amazon. That was sort of the right place to do it because that's where the customers were. But I think that in an acknowledgement that a new holiday has been invented, many try to piggyback on it at their own websites. So certainly, we don't have a mechanism to track this, but anecdotally, it felt like more online retailers were sending emails yesterday and trying to kind of get into the spirit of today's a good day to buy things online.
Yeah, actually, to that, there's some data from Retail Me Not where I'm not sure how they came about this, but that there were 30% more sellers, merchants, retailers that had their own events happening on Prime Day than there were in 2017. So that's certainly a validation of that. Another thing I want to ask you about is, as I mentioned, you've come out with new numbers for Prime membership, and another dynamic that's been increasing is the spend by Prime members. So talk a little bit about that, how that's continuing to increase and add value to Amazon.
Yeah, we've been tracking that number for as long as we've been tracking Prime membership, and it was around 1,200. And I believe our most recent number, I should have this on the tip of my tongue, but I think it's about 1,500 for the average annual spend for a Prime member. We saw that number creep up in our last report, where the average spend of a non-Prime member actually went down slightly, and that's not unexpected. The Prime customers, the pressure bringing Prime customer average spend down would be that the late adopters might be a less affluent and less aggressive online shopper. But I think what we're really finding is that the mental calculus of what do I do to make my Prime membership worthwhile has sort of gone up. And as people have stuck with Prime from $79 a year to $99 a year to now $119 a year, it's a real commitment. And once you've made that commitment, you want to get your money's worth in 2-day shipping and the ancillary services. So I think we shouldn't be surprised that the customer is ready to spend more there. And then Amazon has just become a better and better and more diversified retailer. So if we looked at Prime shoppers in 2015, they weren't buying a lot of food at Amazon. They were buying a lot of electronics. They were buying books. They were just starting to think about buying apparel. By 2018, they're buying all of those things. So it's easier to spend more money with Amazon, and our data shows that customers absolutely are.
Great. Well, thanks, Josh, again for your time, and I'm sure we'll be talking more about this as we go forward, and they keep, finding new worlds to conquer. So thanks again.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.